So, which picture did you choose and why?
I think that most gang members tend to belong to the same ethnic background, wears the same clothing style, and also do gang signs. That is why I chose picture A, because that is what it shows on the picture.
Okay, so if you were walking home at night and you saw a group of boys approaching you that looked like the boys in picture A, what would you do?
Perhaps I'll be intimidated, and however, I may walk past by them, or if I will be really intimidated, then I'll just cross the street.
Okay, thank you. So which picture did you choose and why?
I picked picture A because they're all, they've got that little bit of attitude, but also they're all wearing the same colours, and that's generally an indicator of a gang, as they want to be able to be identified and be able to be picked out, and they can see who's in their gang and who's not in their gang.
Cool. So if you're walking home alone at night and then you saw a group of boys that look just like that approaching you, what would you do?
See, that's a hard one. I'd probably, if it wasn't too obvious, I'd try to cross the road, but I think that if you make it more obvious, then they're going to come after you more, whereas if you act confident and not all nervous, then they're going to leave you alone because you belong in that area, because that's generally what they're doing. They're protecting their ends.
Thank you.
So we've asked two members of the public on which pictures they would choose. They both chose picture A because of similar ethnicities and similar clothing. What are your views on this as an expert?
I think you have to be very careful when you choose who's in a gang, who's not, by what they look at. If you go to Scotland, Glasgow, we know that 95% of the gang members in Glasgow are white ethnicity, and they wear certain sort of clothes, whereas in London and Birmingham, the ethnicities are much more mixed. So you have to decide where they are. Also, when you look at clothing, you've got to be very careful when judging gang members, because they themselves reflect on how they're judged. So if they perceive that certain clothes represent being in a gang, they might change the way that they dress so that they're not identified as such. Then also we know styles change. If you go back to the 60s, being in a gang, you might have had someone with short hair. Now it might be someone with short hair again, but in between you'd have had people with long hair. So the styles of sort of street styles change, so we have to be careful there. But and finally, yeah, we have to be careful of stereotypes. Often people draw conclusions about the way people dress, but we know that popular culture is broader, is really quite broad these days. So people who are not in gangs will also wear clothes that they think make them look like that because they want to be tough, and they in fact are not.
Okay, thank you.